Hello everyone, it's me, Mademoiselle, with the Bougie Auntie International Society, and today in this video I am going to make a response and give my take on one of my favorite YouTubers, Stephanie Perry's video titled, let me grab my notes, Black Women and the Soft Life Lie. Now, I know the title can be triggering, but if you watch the video, which I will be linking, all right, you're going to see how it makes so much sense, all right, navigating the concept of soft life and the concept of luxury and all these things, okay? So, we're going to talk about that video today, and I'm going to give my take. So, Black Women and the Soft Life Lie with Stephanie Perry and Ivana Robinson. Okay, so here are some points that they made to talk about in the video. Okay, first point is, I think she gave seven. Seven lists, but I'm going to kind of give like some of the things that I kind of wanted to tap in on. But point number one. What about if you don't want to perform the type of femininity that is typically associated with soft life and luxury living? Okay. Another point number two, why does soft life seem to equate luxury and spending money and vast amounts of money? And why are people presenting a form of soft life that is exclusive opposed to inclusive? So, I'm going to get into the first point. What about if you don't want to perform that type of femininity that people typically associate with soft life? Now, I'm not going to say so. I've been on a journey trying to reclaim my essence as a woman, trying to reclaim my femininity that, has been stripped from a lot of Black women, especially if you grew up in certain parts of the world, in the U.S. We are typically associated with workhorses, work mules. We're supposed to suffer, struggle, strife. That's the story that is presented to us most oftentimes. So for a lot of us, that super like frilly like type of femininity seems out of touch or off base for a lot of us, which I get. I think there's some some levels to get there, but for us that's kind of like, I don't think it resonates, but also I think, for us, a lot of it is coming from maybe not the proper place. It's coming from a place of performing rather than it being our like actual selves, which I think kind of is what they are talking about in the video. So a lot of us, in the U.S., in America, we equate luxury to money, soft life to money, a lot of materialistic things, which I think has its place sometimes, whatever. Luxury bags, designer bags, expensive trips, vacations, things like that. And a lot of us strive and aim to get there, the big house, the big car. And for me, I've learned that is not what I identify as a soft life or luxury, because typically it requires a lot of hard work to get there. And that's not even just me like talking out of nowhere. Like, let's look at the trajectory of Black people in America, how hard we have worked and how hard we still have to work to just, acquire anything or get any type of position, higher up or whatever you want to associate that. Like, I personally believe the American dream is, a lie for a lot of us. And I'm glad I was able to take a step back, get away from America and actually see and analyze, like, what are we doing? A lot of us we just going through the motions, right? Like, a lot of us are just This is what I'm supposed to do. This is how I get this. This is how I get that. Like, you know, which if you function within that, you know, space, that, you know, trajectory, and it's capitalism. Like, a lot of us, we just can't escape it. You know, that's the system that we live in currently. So that's what, you know, for us to be comfortable, that's what we have to do. Or a lot of us are under the impression that we have to do. But again, me taking a step back, leaving, taking a break from the rat race, I was actually able to see and experience what actual soft life living is. I love having my day, my time, my whatever be my own. I love, you know, spending the day however I choose. If I want to go, you know, look at the water. If I want to go, you know, actually handle business or do whatever. If I want to sit and work for the day, I spend my time doing what I want to do. And for me, that is soft. That's soft life. My time has become such a luxury for me. Soft life for me is being able to pick fresh fruit, fresh mangoes off the tree. Like, that to me, that's luxury. That's luxury living. That's like, this is a soft life for me. Like, de-stressing, decompressing, like not having to be on go all the time, not having to answer to a bunch of people who, you know, probably don't care about me, don't know who I am. Thinking about it is kind of absurd. Like, it makes no sense. Like, you really do not see soft life living unless you acquire a vast amount of money. And again, that still is a lot of quote unquote hard work that may or may not produce anything, may or may not be guaranteed. And if we look at the, you know, deeper context of things, a lot of the people who, you know, make a lot of money, they actually don't really do a lot of work. You hardly see them, or, you know, it's not, I don't think it's what we think it is. So I'm so glad they made this video, and I'm so glad they're talking about it, because this is, I think a lot of us are equating, you know, luxury or soft life to a life of ease, which I think is what we are more wanting. We want easy living. We want non-stress living. We want freedom. We want to do what we want with our time. I don't even really think it got anything to do with money, because had this, you know, system had not been set up or put in place, what would we be doing? Probably not like a lot of the stuff that has been prescribed to us to do. Like, if you think about it in that sense. So I think a lot of us just want an ease of living, like a, you know, softer life, softer living. But we identify that with having a lot of money, which in turn can, I don't know, it has too many nuances. So that point, you know, especially just hitting it like initially, the video makes so much sense. Please go watch it. So, you know, that type of femininity that we typically see, again, you know, like just the frilly, just like the whatever, you know, here's my solo travel to Istanbul, blah, blah, blah. You know, it really is a lot of work, which I'm trying to get out of. And so, I don't know. It's such a conundrum, but it's also like such a fascinating conversation. But getting into the next point. Why does soft life seem to equal luxury and spending money? Which I think I just touched on that. Why does soft life seem to equate spending money and luxury? And I think I just covered it. I think I just hit on it. Like, I answered, I did that. But just to like further expound again on why I think, you know, well, because of how we have, you know, we have been living and trying to strive, and a lot of us even just be comfortable. And so when we reach a level of comfortability, a lot of us is like, what's next? Well, I have to, you know, get to the next thing, which is, you know, private schools, and, you know, and I think people have some type of like, they feel like there's some type of security with these things, you know. You know, which, and again, in America, that might be true. I think, you know, a lot of things can be true at the same time in this regard, because do we typically associate safety and better living with those things? Yes, but, you know, how did those things come about is another question. How, you know, how are people able to accumulate so much wealth, and so many of us are not able to rub two pennies together, and we work so hard, like. So I think for me, that's why we equate, you know, soft life and luxury. And again, I think for us to take a step back and actually look at what a soft life is, it's not a lot of the things that we associate with an ease of living. So like I said, I love having an easy day. I like my time, my stuff being easy. Do I have difficulties? Yeah. But with most of my time being reserved where I wanted to be reserved with, most of my energy and all this stuff being reserved for I wanted to be reserved for, when those moments do pop up, I'm better able to deal with them and, you know, handle them in a more sensible manner, as opposed to if I was like constantly stressed, constantly dealing with, like, I'm able to pour from a better place. I'm not pouring from an empty cup, if that makes sense. And I think, you know, I realized, you know, at one point, you know, and again, a lot of us are just trying to figure it out step by step. We know that we as women deserve better, but what does that look like for us? I know I didn't deserve, you know, the life that I was living back over there, but like I was just supposed to deal with it. Apparently, like that's how, you know, that story goes for a lot of us. We just, like, we never had the opportunity to claim our time, claim our lives, none of that. We never have an opportunity to do that. So I think, you know, as we are finding our way and realizing that may not necessarily be the case, and I guess, you know, that old adage is true, money doesn't buy happiness. Like, you have all the money in the world and you're still unhappy, you're still sad, because I don't think you're operating from a sense of self for some of us. Like, and I think even when we do get to that point of operating from a sense of self, that allows us to create, you know, more opportunities to do things that we love and actually generate income to where we can support ourselves. So I think that's the trajectory to do that. Like, take a break from working, take a break from a career, take a sabbatical. Again, go watch Stephanie Perry's channel. She tells you how to do all of that. Take a break from that stuff. Give yourself the opportunity to rest, get some clarity, and determine what it is that you want in your life. And I think that will produce the results that you want, as opposed to falling in that trap of work hard, you know, slave your life away, stressful work, toxic jobs, all of that stuff. You will realize that may not necessarily be needed. Like, there are other ways, there are better ways that align with you and what you want, and that you're able to sustain yourself. I think that's the more plausible route, okay? And then they also hit on, why are people presenting a form of soft life that is exclusive as opposed to inclusive? So again, that ties back to capitalism, class systems, all those isms I think that we have fallen in line with as Black people. And again, this is what we see and identify as an ease of living and a soft life. So we are conditioned to be like, you know, joining the club. Like I made it to the money club, or I made it to the luxury club, or, you know, stuff like that. We feel like we made it, and exclusivity, you know, brings about this, like, this elitism again that we as Black people have been trying to navigate since being in America, right? Because, you know, we have all these things like the talented 10th and all of that, like the special group or the special set of people that are supposed to come and, you know, they supposed to represent some type of liberation or whatever for us. When again, it's just selling the idea of if we just align ourselves with luxury and like whiteness, capitalism, stuff like that, that our lives will be okay. And I think we've seen now that that's not the truth, right? Like that's not true for a lot of us. And I could spend all day talking about this stuff, but I ain't, because I got other things to do. But I think that's why we, you know, are being presented with this. Like we see, you know, and again, I don't know. I don't feel like, I don't want it to be like knocking like people who aspire for luxury or aspire for that type of living, but what does it accomplish at the end of the day for a lot of us? And at what detriment, you know, is it happening? Are we willing to sacrifice to acquire these things, to acquire this soft life? So does working hard equal a soft life they talked about, you know? And I, you know, don't think so. I think it's like a double whammy, right? You want the soft life, but working hard to get there, putting yourself through so much stress and turmoil, tolerating things that you typically wouldn't tolerate. Is that soft living? No, I think people see it as like, as potentially it will be, but again, I think going that route really doesn't give us the opportunity to lay sight on what it is that we could do that's more in tune with us, so we're not running ourselves into the ground trying to, you know, align ourselves with things that really aren't natural to us in nature. And then again, doing things and tolerating things that make you, you know, uncomfortable, put you in danger. A lot of the soft life living, you know, has to deal with, and again, this is not to be negative, but, you know, work stressful jobs, be with stressful people, stressful men, stressful relationships to, you know, acquire some type of status or acquire some type of level of wealth we think comes with that. Again, to what detriment? Because like they said in the video, I think altering yourself, you know, for any type of, you know, state of being that is, you know, actually detrimental to your health, it's not worth it. Like, at the end of the day, like, what are the other ways? What are the other avenues? How can I go about doing this without killing myself? Which I think that video kind of gave us an answer to, or did for the most part. So do these things equate each other? And I think with Black women trying to again get out of that storyline of us being, you know, workhorses, mules, that we, you know, don't desire softness, that we are all these narratives and storylines that are, you know, constantly being pushed at us and portrayed for us. I think, you know, it's something to reach for, but I think there are other, you know, types of soft lifenesses that we can tap into, to where we are not solely just aspiring to that, and we can actually define what a soft life is for us. Like I said, a soft life for me is going and picking fresh fruit off the tree, going and laying up and looking at the water if I feel like, going up in the hills and looking over the beautiful city of Kingston or Jamaica or whatever part of Jamaica I'm in at the time. To me, that's luxury. I ain't never been on a resort out here in Jamaica. Well, I went to visit some people who came, but I never you know, I get to experience the beauty of Jamaica, you know, outside of those, you know, places. And for me, that's luxury. Fresh food, again, luxury, whatever, discovering new species of fruits. I was so fascinated with breadfruit when I first came out here. I never seen it. Was doing all kinds of stuff with it. That to me is like luxury. I actually get to be in nature and live life like I feel like as I naturally would, you know, had the trajectory of events had not happened with history. But to me, that's what a soft life is. I don't have to subscribe to any of that stuff they said I'm supposed to subscribe. I don't subscribe to. I don't have to do that. Do I need to survive? Yes. Yes, I do. Can you position yourself to thrive and no longer just be in survival mode and, you know, deconstruct all of that stuff? Yeah, you can. So again, I'm going to link that video, and I'll probably link, I'll put a reading list in the description as well to kind of help you, you know, just see more, you know, learn more about, you know, things you can do to define what soft life living is for you. And you can check out some of my other videos about my experience in Jamaica and me leaving and all the other resources that I have available. But also be sure to join my wait list for the Bougie Auntie International Society, which will be launching soon. It will be a community of women, again, discovering that soft life and what that is for them, and a myriad of other things. All right, so thank you for watching. I'm Mademoiselle with the Bougie Auntie International Society. I will see you later. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Send this video to all the soft life girlies, all the black women trying to figure out their way in this thing, and let's do it together. All right, see y'all later. Have a good day. Bye.